Well, the president certainly trying to unite and pacify the country after the 3 months of strikes and demonstrations that ran in the country after the presentation of the pension reform to particularly raise the minimum retirement age from 62 to 64, which was enacted this weekend by the president. And in this speech, he said very clearly, is this reform accepted? Obviously not. We tried to reach a consensus and failed. I regret it. So that was the first time that we heard this kind of words from the president. And he also said in that address last night to the nation that he heard the anger in the country.
C'est une colère qui s'est exprimée.
Anger has expressed itself, and it's an anger stemming from jobs that don't pay enough anymore, with rising prices, be they for fuel, groceries, or at the school canteen. Despite a state effort unseen in Europe, the increase in prices weighs on our daily lives. This anger is also due to the feeling that some do their share but are not compensated for their efforts in public services or public funds. All this anger was expressed by many French people, and in the vast majority in a calm and respectful manner. No one, and especially me, can remain deaf to this demand for social justice and for our democratic life to be overhauled, particularly expressed by our youth.
Now, the reactions came thick and fast after the president's address from the opposition. The far left, Jean-Luc Mélenchon, the leader of Les Insoumis, saying that the president is out of reality and stealing 2 years of life for French workers. The far right opponent, Marine Le Pen, saying that tweeting that the president is in a parallel world. Not a word on inflation, which strangles the French people. And to a certain extent, some people had been expected some handouts to address the cost of living crisis in particular, but it wasn't the case. And of course, the pension reform being the argument that the public finances needed rebalancing, so the handouts were difficult. And we heard actually from the finance minister Bruno Le Maire this morning, and when he said that he wants to accelerate the rebalancing of the French budget. Now, the one thing that was new, so not much new in this speech, the one thing though that the president announced is this 100 days of appeasement, unity, ambition and action. So he said the Prime Minister Elisabeth Borne will present a new roadmap next week, and that they will be taking stock of the actions by the government on Bastille Day on July 14th, and they talk about working conditions, pay, etc., etc. He's actually meeting some of the unions that have all been invited to the Elysee. They all turned down this invitation, but he will be meeting some employers at the Elysee today to talk about these issues. So not much new on that speech. Will this be enough to appease the mood? The next big day will be May the 1st, Labour Day, where the unions want to keep on with the pressure. So not much new there, but certainly the president carry on with his reform, trying to turn the page. He's focusing on the 100 days, not looking back, try to look ahead.